Everybody, welcome back. Northern Land plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Hey, look at that, a positive streak. Hey, how did, hey, let's not even, anyway, Lazarus, how about that? Doing well. It's the same day as the last episode, F-O-V-M-E-L-T-H. I know you're itching. You're jonesing, you're shaking, you're still getting headshots. NL, what'd you have for lunch? I haven't decided yet. Oh, man. Oh, man, there's so many options. Just percolating in my brain right now. My God. Trying to what do you think is the most popular form of cuisine you have the least often? Food is a very popular topic of conversation worldwide, but also, you know, on my channel for sure. So you may have heard me say stuff like this before. And I have nothing against them, in fact, quite the opposite. I have, Chinese, Thai, and Cambodian food very, very, very rarely. Very rarely. You know, I eat, whatever you want to call HelloFresh. Let's call it, like, you know, vaguely, pan-European cuisine is, for the most part, what I think it ends up. It's usually, like, you know, Italian chicken, and it's chicken with, like, Italian seasoning served alongside, like, some orzo or something like that. And then, you know, like, salmon and couscous, and I don't know, that's, like, vaguely Mediterranean or something, so let's just, you know, pan-European, Canadian, American cuisine. You know, I eat it, you know, 3 times a week, maybe. Korean food, we have, I mean, my wife is Korean, and her family, obviously, is Korean. They eat a lot of Korean food. Sometimes they'll drop off some Korean food. We get Korean food, like, delivered almost in, like, a HelloFresh style as well that we can just prepare at home. So I eat a lot of Korean food as well, for sure, but very, very, very rare. Like, when we order in, I don't want to call Chipotle Mexican food necessarily, but I'll order the occasional Chipotle. We order, you know, sushi on occasion. Those are the big ones. Used to order a lot of tonkatsu, but honestly, like, I have, like, a dietary concern about it now, and we don't need to get any deeper than that, but essentially, it decreases the time until we have to call a plumber by 6 weeks, let's put it that way. NL, are you suggesting that it makes you use the bathroom so violently you may explode your toilet? Look, you're putting words in my mouth. That's slander. I didn't say that. I alluded to it. There's 2 different stories there. So, of course, you know, I am going to... Yeah, why not? I am going to go all the way down here. Why not? And then pick up the HP that we got over there. Just don't walk on the spikes in the meantime. But I very, very, very rarely eat Chinese food, Thai food, and Cambodian food. It really doesn't come up as often here. But then again, like... That's very good, by the way. But then again, I gotta hit you with something, which is that I genuinely don't know if I've ever consumed Filipino food. I have nothing, you know, for or against it. Here's what I have for it in my own mind. I do like the idea of pork rinds, like chicharron. Chicharron? I apologize for my pronunciation. And that's why I'm so interested, like, this Filipino fried chicken restaurant has been going, like, gangbusters worldwide. It's called Jollibee. I've never eaten there. I'm not extolling its virtues. I also understand they serve what I would describe as weird spaghetti, and I don't even like normal spaghetti, so that would probably not be the first thing I would try, but I'm interested to try the establishment, because... I mean, I talked about this in a Fiend Folio video, but straight up, given the choice, like, if I'm in another part of the world, obviously I want to eat things that I can't eat in North America, you know, but when you're there for, like, long enough, there are times where you're like, oh, you know what, it would be, like, a cool experience to eat at a chain restaurant. Sincerely. Like, if I'm in the US, I would, I mean... You know, I've still never been to a Taco Bell. They do have them in Canada, like lots of them actually. But you know, I'll eat at a Shake Shack or a Steak and Shake or something along those lines. Like just to experience, you know, what's everybody talking about? I've still never eaten at a Long John Silver's. I remember we, Kate and I went to Japan, as we've done a few times, and, you know, we ate some amazing Japanese food, local restaurants, you know, in the cities that we're in, and then one time, like, for lunch, we were like, hey, it might be cool to just, let's see what's going on at Japanese McDonald's, right? The amount of people who, like, got up our you-know-whats, we don't need this. We can just forget me now on this floor. And are like, you're in Tokyo and you ate at a McDonald's? It's like, yeah, man, we're also, like, you know, not getting up at the crack of dawn and putting on, like, a yukata and, you know, letting the shamisen, like, kind of carry us into another beautiful day in the land of the rising sun, you know? Like, we're getting a broad picture of what life is like in the country, which, you know, even for Japanese people includes eating at a fast food restaurant on occasion. But there's something about, I mean, it's uniquely, like, you know, Japanese for sure. People have such a romanticized idea of, like, what the dream vacation would look like. They're like, I would never eat at McDonald's. I would just buy cup noodles out of a vending machine or some onigiri from the... Yeah, okay, we ate, like, a ton of... We probably had onigiri for breakfast that day, alright? Get off our back. It's a good item, too. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No, don't hold on. We're leaving. But there's something, I don't know, like, I like to eat at, you know, restaurants that are a little out there sometimes by, you know, what would be the normal standards, I guess, of, you know, the local area in which you live. Then the second best thing, the next best thing, is getting introduced to, you know, a chain restaurant and being like, huh, we don't have this where I am. I was not joking, by the way. Every time, you know, and it hasn't happened since the pandemic, so I'm jonesing. But every time we go to see our in-laws in Washington, even if we're, like, basically explicitly going down there to eat a meal, like for American Thanksgiving or something, we go to Mod Pizza. Just because, like, I just like Mod Pizza, you know? It's just a nice, just a fun, delicious place to eat. I don't know what to say. Something about the chain restaurant has, like, a real pull, you know? There have only been a few times, like, I would say in my life where I'm not a big chain restaurant guy. Like, we don't eat at chain restaurants too much locally, for sure. Maybe, like, fast food once every few weeks, and then, you know, occasionally might order from, like, a regional chain, like a White Spot or something like that. And yes, it is called the White Spot, and I could not tell you why, quite frankly. I didn't name it, and I have to imagine if they were to name it now, they would probably choose a name that doesn't sound like a stain you got on your jeans, or perhaps a blue dress. This is just an ancient joke, I apologize. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But, help. There we go. But, you know, there have been a couple. It's a dining experience that has weighed heavily on me. I ate at an airport Chili's in Oakland. I regretted that meal. I kind of wish that I just got, like, you know, a bag of chips from the, you know, the newsstand or whatever. I ate at an Outback Steakhouse in Korea when I lived there. I wouldn't say it was bad, but I was like, you know, considering the quality of food that I got versus the price, I definitely, you know, we could have done better than going to an Outback Steakhouse. And, I ate it at TGI Fridays outside of Universal Studios Osaka. And now, I don't want to throw her under the bus, but it was 100% because my wife wanted to. And, you know, like, the food is not amazing, but it's fine. You know, nobody's ever like, oh, man, could really go for, like, I've never tasted anything like what they have at TGI Fridays, right? Like, that's not a real thing people say. But what shocked me is that dinner for two was, like, you know, 2 meals and a couple of drinks came to, like, $90 Canadian or something like that. It's like, I get it, we're at an amusement park, kind of, as well, and then also it's a chain restaurant, and, you know, you tend to overpay for, like, American food in Japan, which makes sense. You definitely overpay for Japanese food in America. But I was like, you must be crazy. This isn't worth $90. Have you lost your mind? I also remember that everything, like, the entire menu was advertisements. And I'd like, Oh, jeez, that's just terrible, man. What was I thinking? I don't mean like every page was like, you know, go see the Snyder Cut, but like something couldn't just be a hamburger. It was always like, you know, the Jack Daniels registered trademark copyright symbol, bourbon burger with Applewood registered trademark, smoked Hillcrest Farms bacon, and Equity Farms registered trademark fried egg on top of a pretzel Auntie Annie's registered trademark bun. And you're just but like a single item on the menu is like 17 lines long, and you've got to like accept the terms of service to order it. I just didn't get it. If we're talking like American chain restaurants that I can get down with, I love Mod Pizza. If they had Mod Pizza in Canada, I would. I mean, they do have one, but it's on Vancouver Island. But I would go there twice a month. Is my expectation. Also, you know, and we're not quite at this stage yet, but great restaurant to take kids to. They can get whatever they want on their pizza, and it's a personal sized pizza. You know, it's not healthy, but you could do worse, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This was dumb. We should not have bought anything and do this instead. I can't believe it actually worked. Hive Mind and Black Candle, that's unbelievable. Does that work with Cursed Eye as well? It does, right? So we've fixed Cursed Eye. I think, at least. We don't really care about these. Reroll them again. Don't really care. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and it totally worked. I did not see that coming. And yet here we are, now with 52 cents. And I guess we'll re-roll again. And try to get another battery. No battery charge exists. Okay, but we'll buy a piggy bank. I don't really see the value here in buying the converter, but that was a really good Crooked Penny. And we've had a lot of situations where Crooked Penny has kind of screwed us, so that was a big one. Maybe not screwed us, but not performed up to the standards we'd like to see. And by the way, I don't have a horse in the race in the Pizza Wars. You know, I've heard that Blaze Pizza is good. There is only one Blaze Pizza I know of in Vancouver, and it's in North Vancouver. Bizarrely, at least before the pandemic, we found ourselves going to Washington, which is 3 hours away, much more often than we went to North Vancouver, which is like 20 minutes away. So it's just weirdly, like, despite being closer, it's actually less convenient. Just for, you know, the way, the habits we live our life around, I suppose. But I'll go to bat for the Cheesecake Factory. You know, I think there's a reason you always see, you know, enormous lineups. You know, they have these like warehouse-sized locations, and yet when you walk in, they're still like, it'll be like 20 minutes. Is that okay? And you're like, really? This place is like 30,000 square feet. It's like the size of a Walmart in here. And you know what it is? The food is pretty tasty. Mathis informed me, he used to work there. He said he's worked at a number of like sit-down fast casual restaurants. He said at all of the places he's worked, the food at the Cheesecake Factory is at least like made to order, and the least percentage of it comes in like weird sous vide plastic bags. Hello. Oh yeah. Oh, that she would eat the paper tag? Worse. Okay, maybe, you know, I don't need to know at that point. So yeah, I support the Cheesecake Factory. The only thing is, and I don't know how many times I've said this, and I apologize if you heard it before. I think it's good that restaurants put their nutritional information on the menu. However, restaurants like the Cheesecake Factory should not. Because you'll look at something, it'll be like egg white omelet, and you'll be like, 700 calories. How the heck did that happen? I wouldn't go so far as to say it's haute cuisine. Don't get me wrong, but, you know, I was originally skeptical of the Cheesecake Factory to begin with. My wife convinced me to go a couple of times, and I've never had what I would describe as a bad experience. So here's the thing. These are good items, obviously, but I mean, what if you could just get them all, like, for free, for example, instead? I mean, I don't even think we want the rosary, So I'm getting out of here. So effectively, we did all of that just to get 7 seals, which I don't actually think is like even a good item to begin with. But I'm trying to think of like other American chain restaurants I've even been to, man. I gotta go. I know it's not a well-liked chain, but I gotta go to a Long John Silver's sometime. I would say that on average, I like seafood of most kinds more than the average, but especially like, you know, battered and deep-fried seafood is like, you know, nature's nectar. I don't know, it still might exist, but there used to be a Canadian fish and chips chain called Joey's Only that was like very delicious. At least with my like the palate I had as an 11-year-old, it was like the best restaurant you could ever ask for. But yeah, apart from that, I got nothing. Kate, no.
Or no.
Yeah, I've never been to Red Lobster with you. Who's been taking you to Red Lobster? Excuse me, that's
Oh no. Remember when we went to Boston?
we Legal Seafoods. Yeah. I don't even know that. I don't know if that's a national chain or if it's a if it's just a regional chain in the Northeast.
Chain.
It is an American Legal Sea. It was okay. It was not bad. It was a little expensive for sure, but they made you feel weird. How so?
Very
They were very cocky. Oh, well, that's just and again, I don't want to, you know, go barking up the same tree over and over. I've talked ad nauseum about my I'm trying to think of the good way to phrase it. My personal demeanor mixed with the culture of Boston, they are immiscible. Let's put it that way. They don't mix well. I think it's because, you know, I am happy to be living in Vancouver, which I think is possibly the least polite Canadian city. Nobody says hello, nobody looks you in the eye, and I love that. But in Boston, I definitely felt like people were outright mean just for sport. I'm sure we are inconveniencing them by showing up at the restaurant, you know, like with PAX crowds, like gamer party of 70. But at the same time, you just like, you know, you ask like a question. You're like, hey, how long do you think the wait will be? They're like, I don't know. All right, sorry for asking. I guess I'll just go F myself. I am definitely not one of those people who's like, you know, everybody in the service industry should be grateful because, like, I'm going to get an iced tea and then that $3.50 is going to go pay your salary. But I was, you know, like a little just common courtesy to begin with. So that we weren't rolling up like, you know, hey, excuse me. Snap, snap, snap. I can't really snap very well. Snap, snap. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. How long's the wait? We're in a rush. We were like, so excuse me. Excuse me. Like a little mouse. Excuse me. How long's the wait? I don't know. What do I look like? A clockmaker? Come on, man. Should try to, like, you know, internationalize the bit a little bit more, right? I've eaten at a few European chain restaurants. And by European, I mean British. I've eaten at Greg's. Greg's, I thought, was actually pretty good. And also, the only meal that you could get within the city limits of London that was not like, I would say like $25 to $30 per person. I had what I would describe as a nice sandwich. I believe it was £3.50, which was quite reasonable versus the competition. Hello, baby. We ate it at Yo Sushi, which was not amazing and very expensive, but we are also coming from, you know, one of the better sushi hotspots globally, so it's kind of not fair to, like, you know, I kind of feel that's like if you were from, like, Napoli, and you're like, I'm gonna go to Pizza Hut in Canton, Ohio, or something, and you're like, what? Papa! Ooh! Hey! Sorry. Just testing the compressor out. Hey, baby. Hello. And then I ate at, I believe I ate at a Wagamama? Wagamama? It's a English Korean fast takeaway sort of play, and that was okay. I thought that was not bad. Was that Wagamama's, or was it just next to a Wagamama's, now that I think about it? And I ate it at Weatherspoons, and I was like, this is not good. But then, like, I realized later, hey man, I'm not up on the memes. I realized later that Weatherspoons is kind of like a meme. It's like British Applebee's. I didn't know that in advance, okay? I just, you know, I got in the taxi and I said, hello, governor, take me to some fish and chips. He dropped me off in front of a Weatherspoons. That's not really it was just close to our hotel. Anyway, that's all I got. That's all. I think that's all I got. Don't know if I've eaten at any other chain restaurants, quite frankly. we could talk about Canadian chain restaurants again. You guys want some cookies? You guys like Swiss Chalet? Me neither, really. But something about the fries, man. I think they oversalt the fries, and it's like, you know, more power to them. It's delicious. I really, like, Super Size Me in a way, like, it definitely changed the dietary habits, even just nudged them a little bit for good, right, in North America. And I do think, legally speaking, restaurants should be required to display nutritional information. I want to be clear about that. That take is, like, bad for sport, you know? It's not, like, one where I'm... I, like, genuinely believe this. But I will say, like... having the nutritional information on a menu has ruined many a meal for me. Because, you know, there's sometimes I just think, like, you know, you shouldn't, if you're trying to, you know, watch your figure, you shouldn't be eating at a place called the frickin' Cheesecake Factory to begin with. It's like, I already know that, like, this is not gonna be, like, this is gonna be, like, 1 to 7 cheat meals wrapped in one, so, like, you know, at least let me enjoy it. But instead, you know, you go to the Cheesecake Factory and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get the green chilaquiles. And then you look at the menu and you're like, they're 1,300 calories? Like, that's how? So then you go, okay, fine. I guess instead I'll have the huevos rancheros salad. But it's still like 800 calories. And you're like, man, I really miss the chilaquiles. But then if you eat the chilaquiles, you're gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten these. They're 1,300 calories, man. This is crazy. I think you know, you gotta use, like, selective vision to only see the parts of the menu you want to see. I could hear you, but I won't. Anyway, what am I doing? I don't know. This run's good, right? Like, I haven't been paying attention at all. Been talking about one of my favorite subjects, chain restaurants. And I still have not made a decision, man. I'm here to tell you, though. You know, and I guess this is what bothers me. You know, like, we just laughed about it, honestly. But when people were, like, roasting us for having the audacity to eat at a McDonald's for lunch one time when we were in Japan for, like, 2 weeks, I'm like, man, you would lose your mind. But there's, like, a lot of Japanese people in here. I don't know if you expected that we would walk into the McDonald's and it would, you know, just be a bunch of, like, tourists who are like, I don't like rice, you know? It was the people that actually live in the country were like, oh, I'm excited to have some McDonald's. Even when I lived in Korea, I looked forward to, you know, I'd go to McDonald's like once every 2 weeks or something like that. I know, because you romanticize it, right? You're like, I'm going to wake up at the crack of dawn every day and I'm going to go hike Mount Fuji, and then we're going to go through all the Torii gates, you know, I forget the name of the famous park and stuff like that. But, you know, some days you're just like, hey, you know what? We've been walking for a long time, and we've had ramen, you know, 14 times, and we've had tonkatsu like 6 times. We've had sushi 11 times. You know, what if we just eat this, like, shrimp burger? It seems like it could be fun. You know, that's part of the experience as well when you're traveling. Is, you know, not just, it's like, it's, you know, people in, when you're in Vancouver, you know, you're probably like, oh, I'm gonna get like a bunch of sushi. Hold on, is this, I think we're better off with this. People are eating sushi, they're eating, like, whenever my parents come here, they're always like, I forgot we had been here. Excuse me, am I insane? Where's the boss? Hello? What? There's no boss? Am I dying? Or is this... What's happening here? Baby, I think I broke the game. Because it shouldn't be possible for... Oh, no, it's just down one. Yeah, okay, my bad, my bad. It's in this room over here and then down one. That's a very, like, corkscrew type floor, though. I'm not saying I wasn't wrong, just that it's a bit unusual to be nestled in like that. That's funny. You know, every time my parents come here, they're always like, oh, we're in Vancouver, we gotta, like, eat seafood. Oh, we gotta eat, like, you know, a salmon all the time, and mussels and clams and oysters and stuff like that. I get it, you know, we're close to the ocean, but, you know, people in Vancouver are like, you know what, maybe I'm just gonna have, like, a ham sandwich today. I mean, it's one of those things, I guess, where, like, because you have access to it at all times, you know, you don't actually take advantage of it. Like, there's so many tourist things in Vancouver that I've never actually, like, gone to, because I'm like, I live here, I could go whenever. But I guess I'm just pushing back on the idea that, like, oh, you know, if you're going on, like, an exotic trip, everything you do has to be 100% authentic. And I'm like, you know what's authentic to, like, the experience of being in a location is, like, doing what the locals do. And the locals are, you know, they're going out for kitsune udon, don't get me wrong, but they're also, you know, getting the umeboshi seasoned fries, you know? Just the way we are in North America. Anyway, I mean, trust me, dude. When I lived in Korea, I mean, there was I've told this anecdote before for sure, because you know, I'm not making any new anecdotes right now. It's a non-renewable resource. There was a day. Eventually, like, anybody that's lived overseas will tell you this, I think, or at least most people will, as in my experience. There will come a day where you, like, have a craving for a food, from home, that you will essentially pay whatever the asking price is. Like, there was a Canadian-ish restaurant in the city I lived in Korea. They sold a kind of not very good poutine, and it was like $18, which is a little egregious. When you first move there, you're like, I'm never paying that. I'll just get some kimbap, I'll get some, you know, cheukdappap, I'll get, you know, I'll get some tteokbokki or something, I'll just get some odeng from the odeng stand. You know, 6 months later, you would pay $100 just to smell it. I paid $8, I think, for 2 boxes of goldfish crackers once at the convenience store. I was just like, you know what? I just want to know what it tastes like. I will pay you $20 for a pizza that does not have mustard and sweet potato on it. And then, you know, the irony is, I've been out for a bit, and I'm like, oh man, I could really go for like a sweet potato pizza. Just to know what it tastes like. Human mind is an interesting thing. I'm gonna re-roll this whole run. It's good, but it's not so good as to give us a free pass to avoid entertainment. I would describe this as much worse. Tears down. Relax. Okay. 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 Lemon party. Okay. Lots of money. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. Okay, it's kind of bad. I don't know. I don't know where we stand. Maybe it's actually fine and I was just being a big baby. Like, 4 rate of fire, 8 damage, full HP. Like, this is not so bad. I know, you're like, make up your mind. I wish I could, okay? I wish I could. We also have an extra life somewhere. I don't know what is causing it, but we do be having it, though. I might be wrong here, but I thought Lemon Party will actually hurt Mom's heart. It actually does, okay. Confirmed, Mom's heart slash it lives actually touches the ground. We got special bombs. This is the first time in history we've re-rolled our run and not gotten 17 different bomb synergies. Very easy fight. Deal with the devil earned. And you know what? 2 extremely high-quality items for our unique situation. Neither of which has given us any merit whatsoever. Well, no, flying's good. Right, baby? Oh, are you excited? We got a heck of a day, baby, because remember, like, this is the first time that we're gonna run an errand together. Oh my god. I mean, we've, like, gone to the grocery store together, which is technically running an errand for sure, but it's like, you know, there's a difference. This errand is gonna involve the car. Daddy's gonna put you in the car seat. He's gonna look at you in the rear view mirror like every 5 seconds just to make sure that, like, you know, you're doing okay back there. He's gonna be, we're gonna sing some Joanna Newsom together. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. I really, what's the right age to introduce a baby to Joanna Newsom, you think? I think it could be really good for their vocabulary. Then the outside legs of the bear up and fell down as if sloughed from boiled tomatoes. Sorry, that was actually a really good impression, though. And it's not meant to be insulting. I'm a big Joanna head. Baby. No, okay, fine. We can listen to baby music like Rush. You don't have any big words to worry about in YYZ. Just that squam down doo doo, squam doo 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 doo, squam doo be doo be doo doo, squam doo be doo be doo be doo be doo, squam dip dip dip, squam it bip boop, squam it doop doop, ba doop boom doop boom boom doo. Sorry, but it's really good. That's on the banjo. Doo 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 doo. Please give me an Emperor card. We've won the run. You cannot defeat me. If we don't fight to the death, they will kill us both. I wish I could do some of the things with his mouth that Jim Carrey does, man. You know, in The Cable Guy, when he goes like... So, that's so annoying. All I can say is that I did not expect it to come out so loud like that. I knew it was going to make an annoying noise, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. I apologize. You know what I'm talking about, though, on The Cable Guy, when they're fighting at medieval times? Down, down, down. Red Knight's going down. Great movie. When he puts the chicken on his face. Hello, Clarice. Baby, like, you weren't even... Don't die, baby. Don't tell me you prefer the mask, okay? It's because you're not ready for that kind of dark humor yet. Jim Carrey singing, you know, don't you want somebody to love? You wouldn't get it yet, baby, okay? You need to read the Wikipedia article on the Menendez brothers before you understand, like, the little interludes that Ben Stiller does. It's a whole, like, there's required reading. I'll make up a list. You best believe I've been checking that list twice, too. Okay, are we going to fight Mega Satan? Originally, the answer was... no. Now the answer is definitely. Baby. My baby. Don't you. We're gonna have a nice little daddy-daughter day. We'll be in the car. Peggy will come back to you. Do you want to sing the Michael McDonald part or the Steely Dan part? Personally, I think I'm more of a Michael McDonald type. For a movie. Yeah, let's do it. Don't worry about the baby. The baby's gonna be fine. This runs over in 2 minutes. She's got her avocado. Free Shavakadu! Sorry, like, I don't know what's going on. The commentary today is incoherent, but I'm kind of digging it, honestly. Baby. I wish... Oh, you know what? Of course, what was I thinking? Frog! You ready? Frog likes to hop, hop, hop. He jumps in the water. Duck-a-duck-a-duck. Splish! Splash! There we go. There we go. She's chilling. I know, baby. Look, you know what we're going to do after this? We're going to do your favorite activity. Daddy's going to pick you up and hold you until his shoulder feels like it's going to fall off. It's just like absolutely like seeping lactic acid out of every channel. And we'll just look out the window, and whenever, like, a dog goes by, I'll be like, look at that, there's a dog. Oh, my God. Look at that dog. I see you, baby. Walking that dog. Let me in. That was a good run, and we zaned it up. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Twitch.tv/NorthernLion. Give me a follow. See ya!